Good morning, everybody. February 20th, 2019. It is Hump Day Wednesday. Welcome to all of you. I hope that your Wednesday is off to a great start. Lots to go over this morning. Getting closer to going to Reno, being on the road, really looking forward to that. Going to be a cold trip. We're going to continue to check. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? We're going to continue to check the weather, and we'll be cautious. Jen is my weather watcher here. She loves to watch weather stickers. Good job on your Nurse Ratchet today. Jen likes to be my weather gal here. So, right. So far, so good. She'll let me know if we have to bail on the weekend. So, okay, I'm looking at her now. So,
yeah, yesterday everything still looked good.
Still look good. So, I think we're probably going to be in the clear for as long as I could see, maybe the very end of the month or something. I'm checking with my weather lady now.
You know, it's changed like today.
Good morning, Debbie. I don't much care about that. She can't make content without talking about me. Good morning, Simon. How are you? Nice to see you. It's fine. The truth comes out. You try to be nice to somebody. You try to be supportive to somebody. But at the end of the day, as usual, it just comes down to money. Good morning, Gina. All right. Let's get down to it. First thing, I want to acknowledge some wonderful cards. I do have a few people that like me out there. It's shocking and hard to believe, but look at this beautiful card that came. Actually came a couple days ago. How you doing, Uber Gooby? We'll be fine out there. We'll be fine. Lovely Sugarcane sent this to us. Ride or die. Isn't that beautiful? Good morning, Uber Goober. You beautiful gal. You, nice to see you. Mama Bear and I will be fine. She needs to vent her. I returned a little favor last night since she put me in timeout all yesterday 2 times. I gladly returned the favor last night. Also a beautiful card from my friend Oz Lady out in the Midwest. Thank you. Just wonderful sentiments in there, taking time to send a card. Good morning, Cajun Kev. How are you? Miss Artsy Fartsy Jan Flowers, good morning to you. Very nice to see you. Isn't that nice? Somebody can send you a card and just say, I'm thinking about you, and you matter to me. And that's really a beautiful thing to do that. Good morning, This Girl's Journey. Nice to see you. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's not hard to believe that you're you're gonna go along on YouTube. You're gonna have some disagreements and things. Then I got a really nice letter from a guy named Art here, and he really took a lot of time to write me a nice letter. And he knew I was on a spiritual journey for 2019. Which last Friday I took an enormous step. That's why I was kind of out celebrating Friday nights. And I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna degrade the experience, but it was quite an experience for me last Friday. And as a result, Art sent this beautiful St. Christopher medal for traveling. Isn't that wonderful? Just beautiful. Just really, really, really sweet to take that with you and travel. And that's really wonderful. Good morning, Eric. How are you? Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you. Kitty. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I guess people get frustrated. I'm much more pragmatic than I used to be about things on YouTube. Much more pragmatic, and I think that showed last night. And people, beautiful presentation box on that too. And people get frustrated. Of course they do, because they feel like they're engaged in a battle that it just feels like nothing ever changes. But the thing I remind yeah, wasn't that beautiful? The thing that I remind people is I'm not the governor on other people's mouths or other people's action or other people's behavior. And I'm sticking with that in 2019. Now it's uncomfortable for people. Remember, if people can't get to the principal, what would you say, the principal target, sometimes they'll settle for secondary targets. Well, that's fine. You know, it's YouTube. It's whatever. But I know the level. Of frustration. Trigger chimp. I've never chimped in the last 3 years. I've never chimped once on YouTube, and I doubt I ever will. So, but that's my job to host chats, moderate them, and basically these days, since I've already laid out my position very clearly regarding the future, having now been involved with the cops again, and it's not the first time the cops came to the properties. I said before, we've had people send the cops swooping in on moonshine busts and things like that, but I just don't advertise and don't put things like that. Oh, no problem, Trigger Chimp. I don't put those kind of things on YouTube. And some people thought, yeah, Gina, I feel great. I mean, I'm stressed. I'm happy going up to Reno, going to be on a little bit of a road trip and have a lot of fun. We're going to have you guys along the streets of Reno. Some meals, we're going to have a great time. That's my stress reliever. And I do a lot of hangouts and stuff because I got nothing but time on my hands these days. So I'm adjusting my life accordingly, getting ready to hit on the road, getting ready to get on the road. Kevin says that was insane last night. Well, when you have people come on and express an opinion, like I said, I take a very, what would you call it, fatalistic, I don't know what you call it, a resigned position. That after being down here for years on YouTube, 6 years, and after going through all the OG Boyd and all the conniptions in 2015 with trying to make people a new life and trying to get people boosted up, no more. You know, I passed that mantle to somebody else. I passed that mantle out to other people. I'm not doing it anymore. And it may irk people, but it's, as other people proudly state, my friend Nicole Green, my friend Awesome Hooker have said on their channels, two people I like very much, it's my channel. I'm going to have the people I want to have on my panel. I'm going to go to the chats that I want to go to, and I'm going to talk about the subjects. How you doing, Vanessa? Beautiful. I'm going to talk about the subjects that I want to talk about. Every channel holder on YouTube has that right to do that. Now, hey, JK, how you doing? How you doing, Free Birdie? Nice to see you. Well, we'll see, Free Birdie. Some of mine, I had 380 people before Elvis even came on last night. We were talking about top cop hangouts. I had tons of people. I'm sure, Elvis ain't even going to be on panel tonight. So we'll see what happens tonight. Very interesting. But I like to run my own show. As you know, when I go on the road and I'm in places like Reno, it ain't going to have anything to do with Marshall. And when I'm traveling, I'm going to be in all types of different, Salt Lake, Reno, all types of different places. So it ain't going to be, thank you, JK. It was wonderful to have you on last night. Such a good friend. So right now it's a temporary topic because I'm still homebound until April. I got Missy Jenn's infusion. That's right. Sam has inspired me. The boardroom has inspired me on here. Hey, Jen. Hey, Jen. What a night. Well, people, Jen, there's going to be frustration. People are going to feel aggravated because it's a target that people have locked onto for years with not a bit of success. So, I mean, lawyers have been involved, big money, travels, confrontations. And, I'm just very, hey, Prancer, I'm past it. I'm past it. Now, a lot of people in the drama community, they're very new to this situation. They've been living this for 6 months. Okay. To them, it's all fresh. To them, it's like a allied army showing, it's like Waterloo, right? The best way I can say is Waterloo. The French are there. They're in a pitched battle, right, with the British and Allied forces, and it's like this tide could turn one way or another. And Napoleon's feeling good, and then at the 11th hour, here comes troops over the horizon, and after looking at them coming over the horizon, it doesn't take long for Napoleon to realize he's fucked. Okay, here comes reinforcements from the British coming. It's all over. Well, I'm saying I consider the drama community in the battle like coming over the hill. They're fresh to the engagement. The rest of us, good morning, Lisa. The rest of us are absolutely blown out. Okay, we are blown out. I've been on that field for years. And some of us finally have come to the realization that it's all up to YouTube. What happens at the end of the day, it's their chessboard. They really decide who gets taken in and who gets taken out. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Jen's going to check the weather for Reno. If it's going to be snow, which I don't think it will be, we'll bail on that. It looked like sunny. There might be a snow shower or something, but it looked sunny to us. Didn't look like any big deal. So I feel that I've now washed my hands of it. I'm going to enjoy YouTube. I'm not going to get caught up in all the gotcha things. Everybody else reserves the right to, and I'll talk about that at the end. Well, we got my friend Harvey. Any of you ladies available? Harvey's got a wonderful $1 million home in London there. I looked at Harvey's video on Dave's today, and there's his satellite dish hanging off the front of the Harvey, the very colorful neighbor there in London. Yeah, Harvey is, I'm going to call this Harvey's rat holiday over there. As you know, he believes that his cables were, his power and stuff was compromised by some very, I'm not washing my hands of anything, Mo. I'm not going to be on, Mo says, how many times are you going to wash your hands of this? I'm not washing my hand. I'm not involved anymore on the get train. I'm off of that train. Okay. I'm not a part of that anymore. Because like you, Mo, who's been around and you're NOE, old days, nothing's ever going to change down here on YouTube. So that's what I'm saying on there. When I say wash my hands, I'm not going to participate in any more. I'm not going to participate in any more of the of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to run my channel the way I want and enjoy myself. I'm not here to be the police department of YouTube. Okay, when it's so easy, unsub me or unsub Elvis, whomever is irritating, just don't watch it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Yeah, Harvey is a really, really nice guy. I like Harvey. Harvey's working on his wiring. Can you imagine having rats? Can you imagine the rats? And I mean, I can't. What, we've had rats here before. What is that? Did you check the weather for Reno from AccuWeather for the weekend?
AccuWeather sucks. It's always
well, it's only a few days ahead, Jen. We're not talking about a 30-day extended seasonal forecast. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Mo. I can forgive you for that. You must have been mistaken. So that's okay. We can move on, Mo, and move on to higher ground. Well, Vicky, we're not going up until to Friday. So, well, that's it. Free birding. That's not a day I want to be around on YouTube. How you doing, low profile? Hello, Ash. Yeah, JK's like, I still blame Obama for all this, this boy drama on here. Well, that's what we're going to talk about, Tucker, in a bit here. But I just want to finish with Harvey. Any of you eligible ladies, Harvey might be selling his place, coming stateside. Anybody want to join? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Anybody want to join? Anybody want a little Harvey in their life? Harvey is comical. I love Harvey. He just is like, Harvey is like he's like a real life British sitcom. You know, he goes through life so straight face. Oh, here's the front of me flat. You know, it's funny. He's doxing himself on the, he said everything, and then he shows up, and there's me satellite dish hanging off hanging off the front of his house. And say, thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Ginger. I think it's just the light of day. Hello, Reaper Man. Honored to see you. Yeah, Nikita Makhrushchev, Scottish Ruski says, in Soviet system, no rats. Rats go to gulag. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? Hi, 60s. How are you? Hi, Shannon. How are you? Shannon said, if my husband was hit by a bus, I'd snap up Harvey in a second. Let me check the bus status. Thing is, Shannon, you got a lot of management to do with Harvey. I mean, he's a nice guy that wanders out in the street. He might look the wrong way when he's crossing over, right? Going to pick up a loaf, going to pick up some fish and chips. And look to Harvey, stop. What is it, love? You see Shannon out there. Harvey, stop. You doubt. You're going to look you're going the wrong way. You're going to step in front of the, oh shit, sorry, Shannon. and don't come back without those fish and chippies being good and hot, Harvey. 4 hours. Oh, I know. Look, Shannon could have that place spit shine, polished. You know, I mean, that place, it would look like a showpiece, I'm sure. I know my British accent. I have no doubt about that at all. I mean, that's a perfect combo right there. Shannon and Harvey. Now, Harvey, yeah, I've been to those Goodwills. They're pretty cool. Shannon. Now, Harvey, yeah, he could do pretty good. Oh, I'm home all day and still can't keep up. Yeah, well, I'll be doing a lunch through. We'll be doing a Dollar Tree food tasting today. Other than that, I'll talk about that tonight and how to give back to people on here. Hi, Copper. How are you? Nice to see you, honey. Hope you're doing okay. I'm just laughing. I'm thinking about Shannon's like the ideal. You need somebody that's really ultra sharp, and really oriented just to keep Harvey as the wonderful neighborhood neighbor that he is. Oh, morning. How are you? I got rats in my house. I got rats in my house. The neighbor's, the neighbor's wife's wig pops off her head. Harvey's got no filters, so that makes him really, really fun on, really a blast on in real life. Can you imagine that? Are those flowers over there in for the ground? No, No, that's a little candy thing that Mr. Z's family sent over here for us. We need to get Harvey a good woman. That's our priority for 2000. We can't always let Elvis suck up all the. We need to have Harvey. Vicky, there must be somebody nice. One of your nice blonde hair, blue-eyed young cousins, or cousin or something like that to hook Harvey up with. What do you think, Sam? You got Indiana there for Harvey? Pretty funny. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Ooh, 60s Flower Child says, I'm single. Send pictures. Good morning, Helen. Helen's like, I feel like I went through the mixer bowl last night. You know, I got to talk about Helen. Helen is one of those crossover artists of the drama, principally the drama community, but she holds an unusual distinction. Yeah, man, how you doing? Helen Rochelle holds a very unique distinction. Yeah, that's right, Ginger. She holds a very distinct, unique position. She's a crossover artist. She followed me for years on YouTube, and yet has been in the drama community too. She's really the only one and only true crossover artist that has been on both sides. Yeah, Helen's like last night about killed. Scottish, Harvey's gonna be selling his London flat there, and he'll have 800,000 or so pounds of jingle in his pocket. Fancy a little bit of Harvey in your life? Harvey working out, kind of nice, kind of fun. Love Harvey. Harvey's a sweetie doll. So let's talk about Tucker. Some people have expressed concern about Tucker. Yeah, Nathan, that is. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Helen's been meaning to you. Oh, poor Sam. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about, yeah, last night was pretty awesome. JK, let's talk about this. Some people have asked about Tucker and, and the stress and what Tucker's doing in regards to Elvis and all that. And of course, Tucker's not obviously in the best health, but he is, he's a warrior, and when somebody's got the bit in their mouth and they're charging, the last thing they want to hear sometimes is somebody telling them, hey, slow down and take it easy. You might think that it's like the charge at a light brigade. This person's running into the charge at a light brigade over in, in the Crimean War with the Scottish Light Brigade charging through the Valley of Death with Russian cannons on all sides of them. Remember the famous poem, cannons to the left of me, cannons to the right, onward rode the 600 through the Valley of Death. Well, it really happened. So a lot of times I think it's Tucker charging through that, but to no avail. But it doesn't matter what I think. It's what Tucker thinks. Now, I sat on the Hangout with him, private Hangout yesterday. Not something I do too often, but a courtesy. And he told me, don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. I got what it takes to go the distance. What do you say at that point? You say, that's good. Love you, Tucker. That's what you say at that point. Okay. Tucker knows he's loved very much in his community. Tucker does great things for the community. Tucker's starting to get some blowback. Tucker might come out with a big surprise in the next week or two. Really make a few wigs pop. Maybe, maybe not. But I am saying we did express concern and wanted Tucker to take it easy. And I hope people do so. But at the end of the day, you can't tell, a 55-year-old guy or whatever what to do. That's the reality. But we love, how you doing, Polly? We do love Tucker. And I love supporting Tucker. How's it look?
Friday will be a high of 36.
Jen, I'm only wondering about snow, not temperatures or anything else.
No snow.
No snow. Okay, good. So Reno looks all good. Good morning, RV Radio. Yeah, look at Harvey on the panel for Q&A. Huh? That would be funny. So we do think about Tucker. But if you're on almost one-on-one with him, and he tells you it's all good. I'm doing okay. Well, I actually think Tucker's having the time of his life right now, and he's doing a great thing for the world too, and for the communities at large. So we do the Hangout aftermath here from last night. My intention, you can see the title of last night's is "Cops Called on Elvis Today, Cops Called on Me Last Month." The whole point of the Hangout last night was to talk about cops being called on people on YouTube, and I know it's crossed into the drama community too. That there's been take care, Copper. Yeah, I'll check that this morning, Otame. Obviously, my phone just blew up with a phenomenal number of messages and things. So I will definitely check that on there. But that was the point of last night's Hangout. Was it, should things be kept in the arena of YouTube, or should they be carried to real life? Well, unfortunately, boy, dating game. Unfortunately, things get carried over to real life. In my case, multiple times. People put your old videos on sites. People will call your job. They'll contact kids. They'll do, social media gets weaponized against you. Right? People do take it. How you doing, Cher? Good morning, honey. And peace to you, honey. Thank you for accepting my apology last night and being here. I think that you're a very important member of the community, and I appreciated you talking to me last night on Dave's panel. Yeah, we're going to go through with the stream house, Harvey. So that was the point of last night's Hangout. That stuff does come over to real life. People do call Child Protective Services, Adult Protective Services. They do call the Social Security Administration. They do call jobs. It's just an absolute fact of life that things happen. Some people are going to feel very aggravated. And hello, Ziggy. And I think women in particular they have a very strong sense of justice, and I think they're much more apt to take it to the real world sometimes, where a guy might dream about, I'd like to knock this guy's block off. What you don't want to do is challenge some group like the drama community or something, because they will bring the heat. They will bring the heat. Because you don't know what's going on, and you don't ever know how things are received. This is the point that I always try to impress on Elvis. You may think you're putting out one message, BBWs, and I'm going to get me a BB, but it's how the receiver takes it in too. It's how it's tuned in. Maybe they've just come after a real bad relationship. Maybe they've come out of an abusive situation. That their nerves are frazzled. They're down to their last straw on the camel's back. And they hear some guy who's trying to do a WWE shtick. But in fact, it turns out to be the straw that broke the camel's back. You transmit one signal. Some people receive a different signal. And they're not going to hang around. They've not have been here for 4 years to get the context that you just have a big mouth. They're going to take up that challenge. That's the reality of it. So I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but last night I expressed that opinion. There's nothing more. When you've stated the obvious to people, then you've done what you need to do. And I take my leave of the situation, and I'm on YouTube to have fun. I'm not going to chase shadows anymore here. Other people are perfectly willing, like I said, the Waterloo. Here comes the drama community over the hills, and all I can say is have at it. Have at it. But in the meantime, I'm going to run my own show and do my own thing, because as I said, I've been done with it. I know the futility of it here on YouTube, and it's just that people get hurt and things can get really, really bad. But in the interest of fairness, even though I thought I had a good panel, and last night I had Tucker on, I had Vinny come up, and weren't no love fest. Teresa came on. People expressed an opinion on the panel. I thought it was a very good presentation. It started breaking down a little bit. You know, Teresa came on a little buzzed and started name calling. You know, and basically to keep something like that going for 3 hours and to keep it good and not turning into a flaming event is quite a challenge. But, you know, I failed to see that Dave the Fisherman asked for a link. I got Vinny his link. I got Pam her link. Basically, people that asked for a link on the side chat, except for Dave. Thank you, WDF. Except for Dave. Somehow I missed Dave on the side yesterday. Well, Dave the Fisherman is somebody that has been engaged in this battle for the better part of a year and a half. And I told him this morning, I woke up this morning and, you know, Dave was pretty hot on me on his Hangout. I went on this Hangout. The lovely Cher, Renea was on there last night. They were pretty hot for me. You know, there were some, Janelle, there were some people that were pretty hopped up. Hi, Quinny. Hi, Hippie. Because they feel like giving Elvis a platform and not giving a chance and not being able to get their message out. So I woke up this morning and I went into Dave's chat. It was still going on. So I offered a chance for him tonight to come on 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. And I offered Dave the chance to come on and talk about the improved Elvis rat trap. You know, and anybody else that wants to, yeah, I feel like a Boyd referee, exactly. And anybody else that wants to come on, and Tasha wants to come on. Tasha, my friend Tasha's running her own program here, which is cool. And I admire Tasha. She's relatively new to the community, although she's not new to Elvis. And we had a little bit of words last night, but we're cool. You got to have an exchange of, you got to be able to have an exchange with people without people going off the handle. And she's such a person that you can have an exchange to, but she feels very marginalized, very hurt. And in her own way, hello, SKS, she has chosen to fight back. I'll say Godspeed and good luck. If she wants to come up tonight, Vinny can have a link. Tucker can have a link. Because I've seen, you know, this, remember the old game of Mousetrap with all the ball going through all the different things and kicking the boot and knocking the bucket over and the ball goes down the steps and ultimately hits the thing where the mousetrap comes down. So, yeah, Tasha, I think she is a nice person. She's had issues. Yeah, but Shannon, it's just that, you know, people said, isn't Rosie just giving Elvis enough rope to hang? I said, my situation is I'm just here to host people. I'm not here to endorse people. I'm not here to endorse violence. I'm not here to endorse cop calls and the other things that have been done here on YouTube. What I decided to do is just step back and just host my hangouts, get on the road, do my own thing. I already accepted last night that cops are going to be a regular part of my streams and things. It's just something you have to deal with. Just like here on the 27th in January, engage the cops, let the cops see what's going on real time, and then be done with the cops as soon as possible. Is it a big waste of police resources? Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, you don't ever hear an apology from the other side for doing things like sending the cops or threatening and that. So that being the case, it makes sense for me to just step away from it and just say, hey, I'm running my own program. I'm going to have people on my panel that I want to have on. And if you don't go for it, then I'm sorry. But tonight, you know, since Dave was pretty hot, he did not get his link last night. And he has his own ideas. He has his own ideas about pursuit of justice as he sees it. So I talked to him this morning. He's agreed to come on tonight. And I'm going to give him the platform. And he can talk about his plans, his ideas, which is fine. So you get the equal time. Allie said, Rosie apparently trying to give a different opinion toward Elvis is called supporting and white knighting. Never heard of the white knighting. Well, white knighting, yeah, Shannon, I hear you. White knighting is just coming through and just taking up for somebody because you believe that they're at risk of being bullied, and you're going to pick up the sword and fight for them. Happens quite a bit here. Big Daddy James Riley the Goofer, is white knighted for Jen and I for the better part of 4 years on here. It's just somebody, you know, consistently always has the back. So I want to, this is going to be at 8 p.m. Dave has already agreed to come on. It's already, hello, Tilly Mae. He's already agreed to come on tonight. So I'll give everybody every opportunity. There will be no Elvis on panel tonight. So for those of you, you know, that are worried, they won't be on. It's not the platform for that tonight. It's not the discussion. But again, I'm going to sit back and just let events flow. And anybody else that wants to come up that's known can have that link and come on. Talk about it. Clearly, when you tell people don't watch, they still watch. So, you know, call me a realist, call me a very pragmatic person. It's just not something that I can Shannon. I white knight and I get every time. I just want to be independent. That's all I want to be on YouTube. You hear everybody else, I want to run my channel the way I want. Don't ever tell me what to have, who to have on my panel, blah, blah, blah. And I see people exercise great independence, but when it comes to me, in a lot of cases, they've always been this feeling of an ownership position that we can have things the way we want on your channel. Now it's a peanut channel. Let's face it, people, oh, Rosie, you got a big channel. It's nothing in YouTube. It's nothing. Big channel to me is like 100,000 and up. When they hand you the silver button at 100,000 subs, then you can crow like a cock on steroids, right? But until that day, my best advice is keep a low profile and keep your humility and humbleness about you. But people still think that it's a platform for people, but it's a platform I grew myself. I didn't ask anybody else to do anything, and nobody ever did anything. They sub you, they come on, that's fine. But it's a platform that's been built over years, exactly by my efforts, not anybody else's. And therefore, after 6 years, I've earned the right, which I now exercise, to do things the way I want. Now, other people can do what they want, and I recognize that too. But I would never go on to anybody else's channel, nor have I ever, and told them who to have on or who not to have on. It's not my channel. Not my channel. I'm doing good, Andres. Andres, you're welcome to come on tonight if you want. Because I'm not going to be on. Hi, Julie. How are you? Nice to see you. And for some people in 2019, that independence of mine has been a tough thing for them to wrap their heads around. It's not comfortable because it was a place where previously Rosie would kind of twist in the wind. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop, And last Saturday was my breaking point. I said, no more. Can't do it anymore. Declare it now. Be clear about it and stick to it. And that's exactly what I plan to do. How you doing, hipster? Hi, Linda. I know Linda Francine. How you doing, Kenny G? You're going to be happy in Reno this weekend. Gonna be chooching. Gonna be chooching. I know Linda Francine's happy to hear independence. And, if you run a YouTube channel and you try to please everybody, and as hard as it is for some people to get their heads around, as you saw last night, Elvis does have some supporters out there. Some people that have the belief of click off if you don't like it and move on. That's a difficult logic to argue with. So talk about it. Hey, monkey boy. Yeah, I think the whole avenging angel thing is sickening. Especially if you've been on the receiving end. It's sickening. But it's people's right to do that, and they pursue it. And that's why I said last night, I expect cops to be fully a part of my future. Because it's just the nature of stuff that's going to happen. Good morning, monkey boy. How are you? Yeah, well, JK no cow, because it's a cat and mouse game. That's all. Yesterday could be a very reinforcing thing for him. Well, maybe I'll just try to taunt to get the cops called on me. Maybe I'll be provocative. I do play the devil's advocate sometimes. Maybe I'll just be a little bit provocative and make sure people know my location so that the cops can be called on me. To me, you're going to give your location when I'm live streaming. It's just a fact of life. As somebody smartly said, I think JK said when he was on the panel, if you're live streaming and you have 300 people on your stream, that's a lot of people. That'll fill a small concert venue, right? Now, somebody out there is going to enjoy some fuckery and mockery and have a little fun. Good morning, Lady T. Good morning, Lady T. Well, I hear you, Linda. I guess I'm very pragmatic. You too, Gina. I guess I'm very pragmatic. But anyway, Dave, when I went off of my stream and I went on to Dave's for about an hour or so last night, and they were teeing off. Oh, that's great. That's great, Kenny G. Congratulations to your son. Said you won't believe History Channel is talking to my son about a series due to his and other content similar to Deadliest Guests. Yeah. That's really awesome. But you know what I'm saying, Dory Lynn? I'm fully prepped for the cops to be a feature in my life going forward. Because it's inevitable that somebody will get aggravated. We've been at hotels, the El Cortez, being tracked down at the El Cortez, the Golden Nugget. It's just a fact of thank you, Allie. Good morning, Wilma. Hey, Stewie, how you doing? It's just a fact of life when you do the streaming that It's just it just happens. It happens on the CX network. It happens over here. You know, sometimes people feel so frustrated that are watching watching on YouTube that they feel like the only thing they can do is directly intervene in that scene and cause commotion, mayhem, and they're satisfied that they don't need their 15 minutes of fame. Although you can bet with their pals in the background, this is where stuff breaks down. You know, very few people can do things without taking a victory lap. And eventually everything comes out in the end, as you may see in the next week or two. There's a lot of things going on in the community that would probably shock people, some of the thought processes that are going on right now. It's not my place to talk about them, but there is an undertone of unhappiness about the way some things are done in this community. So, hey, Buff, how are you? Good morning, Andrew Hondo. I hope you're doing well. There's Stewie. The police is here. No habla inglés. No habla inglés. Quinny said the police should never be called unless someone is in trouble. How you doing, BTB? Blacktop Boondocker. I mean, it's like when the cops stormed in here on the 27th of January. They swept down that hallway. They had already looked in the window behind me and seen that I was on the computer. And when one of those cops peeled off and came in here into the living room and looked at the computer and saw the monitor screen with a live YouTube Hangout going on. Of course, I'd killed the sound and I'd killed the camera at that point. The cop immediately knew another social media SWAT. And like I said that night, and I'll repeat again, the whole tenor of the visits changed. The cops, their shoulders went down, they got relaxed. Everything at that point just became a perfunctory walkthrough, and then they were out of here. You know, but understand that you may need a special insurance, Oda May, but understand though that the call was juiced. 3 different people called, actually the same person. 3 calls to the Santa Rosa Police Department. There's a body there. Somebody's been stabbed to death. There's this gal, Rosie, her ex-boyfriend, is rampaging on the Rancho with a knife. You think the cops came in with a little Sunday, like it's a ice cream social through the front door? 5, 6 cops, whatever the hell it was. Yeah, Chris said Sonoma County sheriffs will be on cops on Monday night. Our neighborhood's featured. I don't know, Happy Meal, but the repercussions won't be on me. The repercussions won't be on me. But my pragmatic side says that I'm prepared for the future, no matter what it is. If it's cops, whatever it's going to be, it'll be. You stand your ground. Hey, Goldie. Well, Goldie, I got Goldie Cobb on here, and Goldie Cobb is a significant person in the CX network. You know, he moderates streams. And Goldie knows that when you have being booted out of restaurants, cops are a regular feature of live streaming and IRL events. It's just something that you deal with. Do you think people use your lifestyle against you when they call bullshit? I'm sure there's some of them that have a very deep-seated hatred, Shannon. But I got to be me, you know, and you pay your dues. But people, you know, got to also remember, I went to what was a memorial type setup within a bar. You know, good morning, Diane. I went to a bar where, you know, I came in with a bomb under each wing. I'd already been drinking before I came into the bar. And I failed to grasp the gravity of what was going on until, for me, it was kind of too late that night. When I walked in and saw Stu, there was a memorial thing set up, not a wake service, a remembrance of Stu and his good times at the Hop Monk Tavern in Sebastopol, California. Pictures. It took me a long time to grasp. Is this a permanent thing? Is this the founder? You know, I've asked multiple people going around, what is this guy who is, I don't know, you know. Literally took about 20 minutes before I finally figured out who in the heck this guy was. You know, for a memorial, very few people had an idea, because most of the people were just bar patrons milling around in there. But too late, realizing the gravity of the event, I lift up my glass. Stewie. You know, some people were laughing, some people were enjoying it. I think Stewie would have laughed. But it offended some people here on YouTube to the point that they probably, in reality, that's probably what affected the swift justice here on the 27th of January. Not my gender. That incident. That somebody could feel like justice was served. How you doing, Vinny? I hope you can be on tonight. You're very sweet, Shannon. Yeah, Stu is now famous, Vinny. And opinions vary. Your mileage will vary depending on how you felt about it. Well, I'm going to do a lot of stupid stuff, I'm sure, in the future on streams. No, Kit and Cat. We had enough people running an alternate story on the side chat. We didn't need to run the football down the other side of the field. We had plenty of people. Talk to Monique. We had plenty of people. We're rolling the other side. Hello, Mrs. Crafty. Good morning, Henry Hobson. Nice to see you. Plenty of people were taking the football up the other end of the field, Kit and Cat. And we certainly explored the possibility that someone within the playground called, but not likely, Kit and Cat, for reasons that I already went in depth and explained. Andrew Hondo, well, I'll never know. You were the last one on panel, Andrew Hondo. And I've already apologized and made peace to you. And I think we're good to go. I like you. You've always been friendly to Missy Jenn and I, and I'd like to keep it on that way. That's the way I feel about that. So, you know, if I was deficient last night, Dave will get a chance. He's got his own agenda. And no matter what I feel about the futility of it, he can have on, you know, Janelle can come on. Janelle seems to be of the opinion that we just need to sit Elvis down with 3 or 4 older gentlemen, older mentors, and have a summit meeting. Remember, I saw Elvis sitting on a 5-gallon bucket of birdseed in a Walmart aisle in 2015, being lectured by Wanderlust Estate, another YouTube channel guy here. Remember, I went out to Chicago in 2015, tried to work with Elvis to turn the ship around. Fast forward 4 years later, and it's like Vinny says, dillygaff. Do I look like now I give I don't. Which video is that, Oda May? Which particular video? The Elvis sitting on the bucket of birdseed in a Walmart aisle. I mean, Dory Lynn certainly remembers that. Well, that's what I'm saying, Jordan Blue. Wanderlust Estate is not exactly Dr. Phil, but he was cheered on. So, you know, hello, D Just Me. Elvis and Walmart. It may be on Wanderlust Estate's channel. He's another guy that's kind of been through the mill. People take stuff down, put it up. I'm very unusual that my shit stays up on YouTube. There's 180, the great Jasmine Francis in the house. Everything is going as planned. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We're going to do a Walmart, a Dollar Tree food tasting here, Jen and I, in a few hours, and then I'll be on tonight. And Vinny, Tucker, yeah, I mean BTB. You know, you're welcome. BTB is actively engaged. Blacktop Boondocker has engaged years ago. So, no, Ginger, I don't. That's why I'm just love you, Oda May. That's why I just, you know, I'm too. What would I say? Just too over the hill. I'm at the veterans home now. That's it. Just push me in a chair up against the sunny window. And that's it. That's all the fight I have left in me, is to look out and wait for the buds of spring to burst forth and flower. That's all I have left in me. And to do my own shit and run my panels the way I want. And as Vinny always says, Rosie, you be you. Okay. All right. So I want to thank all of you for being on this morning, and I will see you. Yeah, the old days were fun for sure. Why did it change? I guess it was a smaller community, BTB. Thank you, Dory Lynn. Love you. Yes, winter is 2/3 over. Be good or be sneaky. There you go. Thank you, Ginger. There you go. Take care, everybody.